welcome Renata Kowalczyk, CEO of the Wilmington Alliance. Thank you for making the time today.
Absolutely, you're very welcome. Thank you. Happy 1st of March.
Indeedy do. You're creating a lot of wonderful buzz in town. Tell me about yourself. What's your background?
Well, I am Polish. That's where the accent comes from, Polish American. I came to United States 2 days after Berlin Wall went down. So November 11, 1989, I was a 22-year-old student, freedom fighter, community activist in Poland, very active in underground student movement, and that is how I got an opportunity to come to United States so I can experience democracy and freedom that we were all fighting for. Except that as a young woman, I landed in New York City and I completely fell in love with the city, the energy, the country, and I've been here ever since. I have over 17 years of experience in financial services, in consulting. I had my own business. My first degree was in economics from Baruch College, CUNY, Yale to Public Education. Then my former employer, JP Chase, generously funded my MBA at Columbia University. I've ran for elected office in Washington State. So I've had all these broad experiences, but there was a one theme that was always sort of behind right there on the background, which was, how am I making a difference? How is everything that I've known and experienced, it's actually contributing to making lives better in people, for people in my community? And so when JP Chase, on my request, moved me to Wilmington in 2015, I started plotting, you may say, an exit strategy to transition from corporate career, an entrepreneurial career, into a nonprofit. So I made that switch in.
Well, you're in good hands here because we are mission driven as well, and you know, so many good things are happening here in Wilmington, and we're lucky to have you. Can you talk about the Wilmington Alliance? Now, it merged. It was two groups coming together. Can you explain that briefly?
Sure, absolutely. I became the managing director of Wilmington Renaissance Corporation in November of 2018. So I took over after many, many years of my good friend, Carrie Gray. And the day I said yes to this job, I was approached by Wilmington Leaders Alliance, who was another organization, interestingly enough, created with the same impetus, with the same mindset of top businesses, employers, folks really committed to making a difference in the city, coming together and saying, we want to put our dollars, our commitment to our passion is. And so WRC and WLA, although they were created about 20 years apart, right, because WRC was created in 1993, A, had the same mission, B, 1/3 of investors were overlapping. So it made total sense for us to come together. So we executed that merger in August of 2019 and became Wilmington Alliance.
Okay, in a nutshell, what are you doing?
Wilmington Alliance is committed to equitable economic mobility. Everything that we engage in through either workforce, building up entrepreneurship, supporting our existing small businesses, many of them are really struggling, right? Obviously through COVID, through our investments in organizations on the ground that work with opportunity youth to address urban gun violence, to our place-based strategies. We've been very active and continue to be involved with revitalizing West Center City. All of that is a one theme, and that is how can we provide opportunities, resources to create pathways from poverty to prosperity and create economic mobility for everyone in a city, so everyone thrives.
Wonderful. Because these interviews are brief, can you give us an example of a project or two that you think, exemplifies your work?
Sure. So this year we're going to be in West Center City. We're going to have brand new two actually construction projects, but I'll talk about one. We are in the summer, hopefully July 1, we will bring first to the city shared commercial kitchen. We call this project right now Kitchen Incubator, but it's going to have a much more exciting name. It is a beautiful example of the way we would like to work, and that is through collaborations and partnerships with multiple organizations. Our partner in this initiative is Grace Church, so we are actually repurposing their existing commercial kitchen that was not used. So in at the corner, for those who don't know where Grace Church is, it's at the corner of Washington and 9th Street.
And may I jump in and say Grace Church has such a deep tradition of community involvement and serving the people where the church is located. How perfect.
It's perfect. And we've come to them, we've put some dollars on the table, we've raised funds. It was 2019, and we said, here is our initial contribution, there will be more, match us. Blessed be, they surpassed us in their funding. That's how committed that community is. We also brought in Food Bank of Delaware that will be providing a wraparound services and training. We also brought SBDC. SBDC will be helping the entrepreneurs who are going to be using the space to help them get licenses, all the state permits, the city business license. We also working with University of Delaware. The entrepreneurs that are going to be using the kitchen will have their own website, so you will be able to order items from them online. So we're building the entire ecosystem for anyone who will be using the space, and it's all about building up from the ground up our culinary entrepreneurs.
Renata, I don't doubt, and I'm just meeting you for 1 second, that you have the energy and enthusiasm and ideas to get this wonderful project done.
Thank you.
What about COVID? Is COVID, because that's the context of this series, has COVID put a damper on what you're doing?
No, this is what COVID did for us. We took time to listen. And as a result of really listening to many of our, for example, young Black and Brown entrepreneurs about how the COVID impacted their ability to start or grow businesses, or how they need to pivot, we as an organization have pivoted. For example, with workforce, we created, as a result of COVID, a brand new collaborative. So now we have a construction program that we are actually not leading, but we've built a collaborative with employers as committed ones who are actually hiring folks from Skill Center. So yes, on the programming side, many of the things that we do in West Center City, for example, at our Rock Light or Park or Community Garden, we had to pause. So we didn't do community programming. Hopefully we're gonna come back this year. But we took time to really listen. And as a result, we've built new collaboratives, new partnerships, launched new initiatives. So I feel very blessed that COVID had actually created opportunities for us to create new partnerships that we've talked about it, Sharon, in the past, but they were always in the realm of one day, and then bam, we said, well, there's no one day, this is now.
Sure. And Renata, again, because these are brief, how can the community get involved? Do you accept volunteers? I know you're working with corporate entities for your funding along with your nonprofits. But say somebody sees this and says, gee, that sounds like something I'd love to get involved with. What do they do?
Well, so the first obvious thing, they can support us. They can also support many other nonprofits. The Delaware 24 is coming up, March 4th and 5th, right? All the organizations. This is a wonderful project of United Way and Spur. But they can also contact me. That's Renata at WilmingtonAlliance.org. As we now relaunching our programming and we doing work with our garden, there will be opportunities for volunteering, but we are very cautiously optimistic, right, about bringing that back because of COVID.
I know. Well, Renata Kowalczyk, it's my pleasure to have this first interview with you. And I hope you'll come back many times. And that is so exciting, the kitchen project. And give us an update on that.
We sure will. We're super proud of that. And thank you for reaching out. Please stay healthy and safe. And happy March to everyone. And happy Women's International Month.
There you go. All right, Renata. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.